Hello and welcome. As you can see by the title of this video, we are going to be working on some of the Dolores Umbridge cat plates. So I knew I wanted to add this to my collection, and I've seen a few out there that are the lenticular style plates, but I really wasn't finding exactly what I wanted. So I knew that I wanted some that I could hang up on my walls. I also knew I wanted some that were really small that I could make an area on my shelves. So I just kind of started going around looking for some. I wasn't lucky enough to actually have anything like this in my collection already. So I went to some local flea markets, just kind of looking around to see what I could find. And I did look up on a few things, not a whole lot, and my collection will continue to grow, but I just wanted to kind of show you what I've gotten so far and what I'm working on. So I went and just looked through some booths, and I started finding like these little plates. So a lot of people just call this like the dessert plate or bread plate. They're really small and they're just like a size right above the teacup and saucer. In the process of looking, I was able to come across a couple of teacups and saucers as well. And with this one being pink, it just screams Dolores Umbridge to me. But this just seems like something that I need on my shelf for Dolores Umbridge. So I got it and I started looking for plates that kind of went with it. And then I knew that I also wanted some that didn't go with it. They were just different that I could also use. I started looking for some that had like floral trims and some that just had solid trims and things like that. And I figured I could make just about any of them work. So I just kind of started picking up basically all of them that I could find. So I was able to find these, and they're just this little like a silver trim with a little silver design on them. It was a set of 6 of these, and I actually ended up finding this set at Goodwill. So this set of 6 was about $7, and I thought, okay, so now what I need to do is just go online and look for some cat pictures that are the Creative Commons that I could use. And I started out by using Microsoft Word and just making a circle, figuring out the inside of my plate size that I wanted to cover, making a circle on there that I wanted to use, and then just taking that cat image and putting it behind the circle so that I knew when I printed it out that I would be able to cut it out and make it fit in here. Went ahead with these 6. I still have some that I've not done yet, and then I went ahead and did some. So this one is one of them that I did, and I absolutely love the image that is in this one. Now this one is a little bit bigger than the flat part, and I was able to just kind of make it go up and around onto the little edging here, which I don't mind. I think it is just fine. And I love the fact that it's big in this plate. So if I were to put it up in a shelf, or if I were to put it on the wall over there that has like my pictures that I'm doing for the portrait wall, then I will be able to do some both ways. So the plan is to have some kind of hanging in different areas of one shelf, and then to be able to make like a collection of them on the walls as well. So this is one of them, and I just took it and printed it out on regular cardstock, and I just glued it down with some of the Elmer's glue. The reason I ended up using the clear Elmer's glue is because if I don't like it after I put it down, it's fairly easy to pull up and I'm able to move it around. So the reason I did that was because I have several other size plates. Wasn't sure really which one I wanted to use them on. So I knew if I put this down and I wanted to use it on a bigger plate or a smaller plate, or I really didn't like the look of it on that plate after I put it together, I would be able to change it. You can't really do that with crafting glue. This is the first one, and this one is one of my absolute favorites. I love it. Then I ended up doing this one. This one's a little bit different. It's not all the pinky tones that you really think of when you think of Umbridge, but I just loved this cat. And even though these are flat images and they're not lenticular, and sadly they're not going to move when we look at them and purr and meow, but it really is a real cat with just a golden background. And so I chose the golden background to match up with the eyes of the cat. I just thought it really pulled it out, and I thought that it would make for a nice piece to add to the collection. And these plates are not perfect by any means. That's why they were for sale so cheap, but it doesn't matter. Like, these are not going to be something that I'm using to serve food on. It's something that I'm just putting into my collection. And then I chose this black cat, and I ended up doing it with a really pretty dark pink color background. And I just really thought that was pretty. And I like the fact that it's actually looking to the side and not just directly at us or exactly like the other one. He's a little bit further back. And I wanted all my plates to be different. So that was kind of one of the things that I was going for when I started on this project. I've been working on this for a few weeks now, but it's just something that I've kind of been working on in my spare time. So I don't have them all done. I also didn't really want all of my plates to match. So these plates won't hang together, even though they are the same. They will hang with other ones. This was one other plate that I was able to find. I found it for $1, and I just ended up using this little 3-inch circle to do this. I do have a 3-inch cutter that I use, and so any of them that I was able to do 3 inches, I knew I could make a perfect circle because I can't cut a perfect circle. But I just adored this little cat, and I love the fact that it's wearing a bow tie, and I just kind of felt like this is something that Umbridge would have, so I ended up using this one. It is super cute, and it already had the pink flowers on here, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do because when I didn't cover up any of the flowers, it really made the image too small. So I opted to cover a little bit of it, and so this is what I ended up getting, and I'm not mad about it. I like it. I think he's cute. This is probably one that for sure will end up hanging on my shelf down here just because I think it's adorable. Then I ended up finding some more. These aren't exactly the quality of those, but as you can see by this, these were 5 cents a piece. I couldn't leave them. These are chipped on the back, but again, I'm not eating out of these. These are going to be hung up and we're only going to see the fronts of them. They're lightweight enough, and that was kind of the main thing that I was going for, was making sure that they didn't weigh too much. I didn't want them to weigh themselves down and make it harder for me to be able to hang them and have to really worry about them falling, because if these fall and hit the ground, they're going to shatter, and that's definitely not something I wanted to happen. Even though it was only 5 cents, I still don't want them to break. But I love the fact that these little plates have the little teeny tiny, it's almost like a little rosettes that go around the outer edges of them. So these are some that I have to still do. Of course, you can paint any of the plates if you really wanted to. Also, when I get through with these, I do plan on taking some Mod Podge or something along those lines and coating the top of them so that they will end up looking like they are just all the way into the plate and shiny just like the plate is, to where it doesn't have this matte look to it when it's done. Again, I have these little ones that I haven't done yet either. And then I have a few other ones. This one is a thicker plate, and I wasn't planning on doing the thick plates like this, but I did end up using the cup that went with it. And so I just thought I would go ahead and do this one, and he just kind of turned out like a perfect color and size for this plate almost. So this is one that I'm going to end up adding into the shelves because it is heavier and it is thicker. So I definitely want to make sure that it is like on a shelf to where it hopefully won't fall. But if it does, it wouldn't fall far. These two little plates were like 25 cents each, and I really liked them, and I knew I wanted to do something with them for sure. So I ended up adding this little kitty to that one, and you can see it does have the little floral trim. This is kind of like the style plates that I was looking for, some that just had like flowers that kind of went all the way around and covered basically this whole area with like a floral print of a sort. But I just haven't really looked up on a whole lot of them like that. So for right now, these are the ones I have. And then this one I ended up printing out. I'm not real crazy about the color of the little bowl right there. So I'm not so sure that I'm not going to go in with a little bit of paint and possibly just make that a lighter tone. I like the fact that he has this little ball, but I think it just stands out a little too much. It's a little too bright blue for me. And then I ended up finding some other ones that I will possibly use as well that I ended up picking up. This one was $1, and we had more that were 5 cents each. These are chipped, but kind of my thought on these is if I can find some floral stickers, then I'm going to end up just patching these pieces and then putting some floral stickers around the outer edging of this and then covering the middle with my cat image. So that just is kind of the idea of it. But I just went ahead and picked them up because I knew I wasn't going to find any other plates for about 5 cents each unless I can find some for free. Just to give you a little idea of what I'm actually doing with these. In Umbridge's office, when she has her cat plates hanging together, this ribbon, which is 1.5 inches by 12 feet, I really wanted some that was a little bit wider. This was all I could find at the time. I just picked this up at Walmart. I had the ability to get some that was a little bit wider, but it was a sheer ribbon, and I knew I did not want a sheer ribbon. We'll just go ahead and do this one. I'm going to put my largest plate on the bottom. You can do largest on top and then go down, or you can do smallest on top and go to largest, however you would like to do it. You can also do them all different sizes in between. It's all up to you because this is yours. This is for your collection. So as I always say, you do you. But I'm just going to put these here for now. I like this one in the middle because these both are like a white tone and this is more of a cream tone, as well as this one also has a scalloped edge around it to where these are flat. These are also silver along the edges and this one's gold. So to me, this one should just be in the middle because it's completely different than the other two. Then we would end up making a bow for the top of this out of the same ribbon. So I have this kind of ribbon. You can use whatever kind you would like. And so I will end up making a bow and attaching the whole thing together kind of like this. And then I will end up putting a connector right here on the back to be able to hang this. When I get ready to hang these though, not only am I going to attach the ribbon to the plate securely, so we're definitely going to have to find something that will attach it. I don't know if hot glue will work because I'm afraid it might peel off of the ribbon eventually. I'm gonna have to find something that is super secure. So if you have some thoughts on something that would hold a plate to the ribbon, please let me know in a comment. We're also going to add something to the back here to be able to attach it to the wall. So I'm thinking on the back of the ribbon where the plates are going to be, I'm thinking I may end up using something like a Velcro of a sort, maybe hot glue. I don't know, we'll see. I want to also make sure that it's something that wouldn't really peel the paint off, but I could always repaint if I needed to, if I took these down. But for the shelves down here, my shelves are only about 12 inches. So as I do individual plates, my idea is to do one plate and have the ribbon, secure it to the wall, and then have a bow above it. So you don't have to have this connected. You can just make it look like it is. So just an idea on something like that. You make a bow, however big you want it for your plate. Then you can take some of the ribbon and cut it and just sit it above it to where it kind of goes down on both sides, and it will just look like it is connected up here. Or you can connect it if that's what you want to do. You can still do the same thing as you're going to do on the walls, and you can just connect one plate like this, which is quite possibly what I'm going to do. Haven't really decided. I'm going to wait and do my ribbon at the very end after I figure out which all plates are going on the shelves and which ones are actually going to go onto the walls. And then I'm going to make that ultimate decision. But I do think this collection is going well. I think this is actually going to be in with the Divinations and Umbridge shelf is kind of where I am with this. I do have some cups and plates down here that are real similar to this set that I'm actually going to use for my Divinations-ish part of the shelf. And so I'm thinking that I may end up just kind of making these all one type of shelf until I end up getting more shelves and I'm able to give Umbridge her own shelf and end up giving Divinations its own shelf. For now, I'm just thinking I'm going to mix the two. Have you made any Umbridge plates for your collection? If you have, please let us know how you did it. If you found a set that you really like that is great for an Umbridge collection, please let us know which ones you ended up picking up. And with that being said, have a wonderful day. And remember, we love you.